All right, we at it again. So, cold as heck. You know what I'm saying? This one is about the warrior. May the Lord rest his soul. New Jack. You see me at the Coliseum. You see it in the background? It's kind of blocked off, but we at the Coliseum where battle take place. But today, we just listening to the story, the origin of the man New Jack himself. One of the most ruthless warriors in the sport of wrestling. Yo, I said it like that. I sounded like JR.
All right, here we go. We have New Jack in the building today. Welcome to Vlad TV.
What's good, man?
Well, listen, I put out a social media tweet and I said, what's the next wrestler that we should
I know this kind of old, but it's my first time seeing it. I never seen this.
interview? And the majority of people said New Jack.
Oh, let's see
That's
it.
what's up.
Yeah. And then when I got into your whole story, it was just absolutely insane.
Right.
Well, so let's go ahead and get into the story. So you were born in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay. And at a very early age, you realize you're in a really tumultuous family.
Yeah.
So before the actual, shootings and stabbings started to occur, like, what do you remember about your father and mother's relationship?
They had a terrible relationship. My father was an alcoholic. And my mom, she cheated on him all the time. And they would fight all the fucking time. You know what I mean?
Okay. Do you have siblings?
Yeah.
Okay. And were they older or younger?
I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest. Okay. So you're
Okay.
was it brothers or sisters?
One sister and three brothers.
Okay. So them being older, how are they reacting to the the craziness in the family?
Trauma.
Well, my two older brothers, they was in the military.
Okay.
So they was gone.
Oh.
So it was just my brother and my sister and me in the house. And that's basically it, you know what I mean?
Okay. So then there was a situation where your dad stabbed your mother 5 times in front of the whole family.
Yeah.
What led up to that?
She was cheating on my pops.
Harsh beginnings.
And somebody called him and told him that they saw her in the car with somebody. And when she came home from work, he stabbed her. He stabbed her like 5 times right in front of the whole family. You know what I mean?
Nah. What?
Okay. How many people were in the house to see this?
Probably about 3.
Me, my brother, and my sister.
Yep, about 3.
Okay. Now, how old were you at the time?
Probably 8.
5.
Oh, worse.
Okay. So as a 5-year-old, here you're seeing your dad stab your mom and there's blood everywhere. How are you reacting?
I mean, it was a long time ago, you know what I mean? But I was crying, and I was asking him why, you know what I mean? I mean, that was 50-some years ago. So, I mean, my memory is kind of off right now, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Do you remember how your mom was reacting?
Damn, 50 plus years ago? He didn't look too old. He looked like he about 30 right there. Damn.
She was screaming. He stabbed her, she was screaming, and she was trying to get away from him.
Yeah.
Okay. Did she get away?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they called the ambulance and they came and got her and took her to the hospital.
Okay. So your dad actually stayed and got her to the hospital?
Yeah,
My dad went to jail.
Exactly.
Okay.
He stayed.
Did your mom press charges, or was it just one of those things where it just didn't matter who pressed charges?
It didn't matter. It didn't matter. That was back in the 60s, you know what I mean? It was like black on black crime was the thing. They didn't give a, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Okay. How long was your dad locked up for at that point?
Don't tell me less than a year.
I remember him going to jail and the next day he was out.
Less than a year.
Oh, really?
Way
So they
less.
just let him out for stabbing his own wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't care. Like he
So
said.
she probably didn't press charges.
Probably, I don't think so.
Most likely didn't.
Okay. Well, and then 5 months later, your mother tried to, I guess, leave and take the kids with her?
She tried to take me with her, and my dad was like, he wasn't having it. So when she went to put me in the car, he shot her in the leg.
Oh.
And she dropped me in the car. And the cops came. He went to jail again, but he got right back out.
Huh?
Okay. Well, and I guess your dad passed away not too long after that?
My man was immune to prison sentencing.
Yeah. he died when I was 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
That same, all that happened that same year.
How did he die?
Heart attack.
Oh, man.
Okay.
All that stress. Getting cheated on. Damn, man.
Found out that your dad had passed
rest his
away.
soul.
Were you upset? Were you relieved? I mean, you know, being
Probably
in that type
both.
of situation.
Probably both.
I mean, I love my dad, you know what I mean? Me and my dad got along good.
Okay.
You know, so when he died, I mean, I was sad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So now it's just your mom, you, and I guess your sister.
Yeah.
What was that household like after your dad was gone?
Probably more hectic.
My mom would have a different guy in the house every night, you know what I mean?
Look at that.
It was like somebody's husband she was sleeping with, you know.
What the
and
heck, man?
It was just crazy. We had to listen to her have sex in the house. And
You see that?
the shit was like nuts.
See, worse, like I said.
You know, and I just wanted to get out of there, you know?
Okay. Was she abusive to you at all, or some of the men that would come by?
Yeah.
Okay, like what would happen?
She would beat me. She beat the shit out of me, you know what I mean? It was like all the time. She whooped my ass all the time for no goddamn reason.
Dang. In some ways, she was worse than his dad. Damn.
Okay. And I guess to this day, you and your mom really don't get along.
No, not at all.
Yeah, understandable.
He said understandable. Damn. All right, man. That was part 1, dog. Part 1. Okay. Let's go to part 2. Hold up. Let me pause it right quick. All right. Is this thing going? Okay, this is part 2 right here. Let's see what's happening with it.
So, at what point did you leave the house?
I went to jail in the 12th grade. Coming out of high school, I went to jail. And I did 2 years in prison for armed robbery and aggravated assault. So I left then. And when I got out of jail, I went to college and got me an apartment and played football.
Okay.
And going to jail for armed robbery and assault, was that something that you were doing on a regular basis by that point?
Yeah, we was robbing people every weekend. It was like a goddamn sport. I mean, we would get a carload of my boys to get together, and we would go and just rob people. And people at the school, they all knew what we was doing.
Now we see why his name New Jack.
You know what I mean? But we didn't give a. We was out robbing, and we go to the store and buy clothes and shoes and come to school Monday. Everybody dressed sharp. You know what I mean? And everybody knew what we was doing, but we kept doing it.
Okay. In the midst of doing that, what do you think was the craziest situation that occurred?
I don't really remember. Well, we got in a shootout one time where the guy was shooting at us. You know, didn't nobody have a gun in the car at the time, but the guy he came out the door shooting at us, and we all ran.
Wow.
Okay. And how did you end up getting caught eventually? You know, when you did the jail time.
They had video surveillance on the building, and somebody was looking at the cameras, and the guy that was doing security was looking at the cameras, and he came out and got the license plate to the car, and they traced it back to us, and we went to jail.
Okay. Damn.
So you go and do 2 years in prison.
Word.
Yeah.
Shoot.
What was the worst part of that?
I mean, it was a learning experience. I mean, you know, every day was something different, you know, and I just dealt with it. And I mean, my first year of college I did in prison. You know what I mean? And I just dealt with it, and I just rolled with it and got through it.
Got no choice.
Okay, so then you get out, and then you enroll in college to continue your degree.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you end up graduating?
No.
Okay, why'd you drop out?
Because one of the conditions of my parole was to go to school.
Okay.
So I went, but as soon as I came off parole, I dropped out of school and I started driving a truck.
Also, he became
Texas was feeling.
So basically, he became a truck driver, or something like that. Heard you make good money, you know, when you do the truck driving thing. Gotta get your CDL, though, I think they call it. We'll be back after these commercial breaks. Oh, messages. Okay, this should be part 3 right here. Let's see what's happening with it.
So you're driving trucks, but eventually you get into the bounty hunter business.
Yeah.
Oh.
What made you get into that?
I had a buddy of mine, he was a bounty hunter and a bondsman, and he was writing bonds, and he asked me that I want to come down and help him, and I told him I would. You know what I mean? It's easy money, you know. So that's what I did. I went and started helping him, and then I got certified, and I started writing bonds, and I became a bounty hunter.
All right.
Okay, so that's essentially if someone jumps bail and is wanted, you go out and try to capture that person and bring him back.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Kind of seems like the hardest job in the world.
It was cool with me. I mean, you know, I had a good time doing it. You know what I mean? I had a ball doing it. I made like a lot of money, and I stayed with it for a long time.
You gotta be built
Okay,
different.
how many years total did you do it?
About 10.
That's like the same as when you play GTA Vice City and you put it into vigilante mode. Of course, you got to steal the police car first. Then you put it in a vigilante mode. Same thing.
Oh, okay.
It's
so
hard,
this was
though.
really your career for a very long time.
Yeah.
Okay. There were 4 situations where you had a justifiable homicide trying to bring someone back.
Damn.
That never happened.
Oh, he said
Okay,
somebody
you made
lied
that
on him.
No, I didn't make it up. Somebody else did. Somebody in wrestling in the locker room made it up, and I just went with it. You know what I mean? I was just like, when they want to say I killed somebody, I killed them. You know what I mean? And I thought it was funny, and for a long time, that was like the running joke. You know what I mean? New Jack killed 4 people. I never killed anybody.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, besides that, that whole situation that never happened, I would assume that bringing people back who are trying to escape the law that have already jumped on, could probably get pretty crazy. What do you think were the craziest situations that you ran into?
I had a guy that I had a bond jump on. He had a failure to appear. He was driving a truck, a tractor trailer. And when he found I was looking for him, I was parked on the street that he lived on. And he came down the street and saw me, and he turned around and drove his truck right into my car.
Oh.
And we got out and started fighting, and the cops came and they took him to jail, and I surrendered my bond, and that was it. That was probably one of the craziest ones, you know what I mean, that I did.
Dang. That's a movie type stuff.
Okay. I mean, in general, when you have to apprehend people, does it usually get physical? Does it usually get violent?
Sometimes. I mean, sometimes you get the guy here, he'll just go ahead and surrender, but then again, you had the ones that we used to call jackrabbits. They want to run.
You know they don't play out here, man. If they gonna skip the bail, you know they gonna try to skip getting detained too. You ever seen the movie All About the Benjamins? How much trouble my man went through?
You know what I mean? And we would go out and chase them and catch them and beat them up, and put handcuffs on them, put them in the car and take them to jail.
Beat him up, break his neck. Oh, wrong wrestler.
Okay. How much do you usually make off of bringing someone back on average?
In the state was 10%, out of state was 20%. So if I had a $2,000 bond, if I got arrested the guy, I got $200. If I had a $250,000 bond, I got $25,000.
Okay, what was the biggest bond you ever arrested somebody on?
$1 million.
Oh.
Oh, really? Who was this?
Huh?
Had to be a drug lord.
Who was that?
I don't remember the guy's name, but he was in Atlanta, and he was on. He had a failure to appear for drug charges,
What I say?
and he had $1 million bond.
Huh?
And
Okay, I was gonna say $1
Capo.
million bond. That must be someone pretty high up in the
Capo.
ranking there.
Yeah.
Capo level.
Okay, and you brought him back without incident, or was it a?
No, he was cool.
Situation.
He was like, I knew the day was coming. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, mother, you know you right. You know what I mean? And he was cool with it.
Damn.
Okay. Well, I mean, in general, someone who's jumping bond is doing anything possible not to get caught.
Right.
So how do you track down somebody who's trying not to even be on the radar at all?
I don't know.
When they get out of jail, they have to go to the bonding company and fill out an information sheet. And this is like relatives, girlfriends, ex-girlfriends,
Oh.
wives, mother, father, brother, sister. And they had to put all the information down on a piece of paper. And we would start right there, and we would be calling around and seeing how they heard from the guy, they got in touch with him. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
And then we would go, once we would get a lead, we would go and get the guy.
Damn.
Okay. You'd have to do surveillance sometimes,
Yeah.
that type of thing?
Pretty smart.
Okay. Okay. So here you are, a bounty hunter for 10 years. What made you eventually get out of that business?
I had a buddy that was wrestling, and I was playing semi-pro football at the time. And we had our last game, and he came up to me, and he was like, hey, man, I've been training down at the WCW. He said, won't me and you train, and I can, he said, we become wrestlers. And I was like, at the time, I didn't want nothing to do with it. I was like, man, I don't want to do it.
Nah.
And he was like, no, we can make some money doing it.
Yeah.
So I went on and started training with him, and then I met Ray Candy, and I started training with Ray, and he took me under his wing, and he was like, I can teach you a lot, and you'll make a lot of money doing it, just stick with it. You know what I mean? So I started training with Ray, and that was it. That was the rest of history.
Oh.
Okay, because before then, you weren't a wrestling fan at all.
No.
Okay, so you never watched WWF and none
I
of those guys.
watched it sometimes when I was a kid. I watched it sometimes, but I didn't watch it like religiously. I didn't.
Okay. Before you got into it, did you think it was real? It was scripted? Did you know how it worked?
I mean, I knew I had an idea. You know what I'm saying? I had an idea. And when Melvin, the guy that was training me, him and Ray Candy, when they got a hold of me, they was like, we can do this, and you can make some money doing it. And I went to a show at WCW in Atlanta, and I went and bought me a ticket, and I sat up in the nosebleed section, and I was just watching it, and I was studying it. You know what I mean? And I was like, I can do this. So one thing led to another, and I started doing it.
My man was on his Piccolo stuff. He was like, I can do this. I feel great. But yeah, that's part of... kind of remind me of Piccolo. Piccolo had harsh beginnings too, but his was more harsh.
Smart founders know.
Hey, with all these commercials. Okay, we'll be back after all these commercials. Okay, I think we back at it. Part 4. Let's see.
Okay. And your name, New Jack, came from the movie New Jack City.
Right.
Okay.
I figured that.
Which is a classic movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, one of the best like movies of that genre, period, to this day. In 92, what was the association you started with?
North Georgia Wrestling Allowance.
Okay. And by the next year, you actually won the World Tag Team Championship.
Yeah.
Okay. You and Homeboy was your partner.
Yeah.
His name was what? What's his name?
Okay. So how did it feel in 1 year to win this championship? Granted, it wasn't the biggest league in the world, but here you are coming up.
I mean, it felt good. It let me know that what I was doing was, I got somebody's eye that wanted to take a look at us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we came in and we wasn't nobody. We didn't have a name or nothing. So when we started working the USWA and they put the belts on us after 2 weeks, that said a lot.
You win a championship in the smaller league, and then you get a call from Jim Cornette in the Smoky Mountain Wrestling Association.
Jim Cornette.
Right.
Okay. And explain to me what was different about Smoky Mountain than what you were already doing?
Okay, Cornette came out and he was like, New Jack, I need a black tag team. You know, I need a black tag team to work in Smoky Mountain. And that's North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky, you know what I mean? So, Ohio. So he was like, do you have a partner? And at the time I didn't, but I knew somebody that I could probably want to be my partner and he would work out for me. So Mustafa, which was my partner, we started tagging, and Cornette offered us a shot to do a tryout in Atlanta. So me and Mustafa went down, and we tagged, and he liked it. So he was like, I need for y'all to be heels, which is the bad guy.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, cool. And then he said, I need for y'all to be racist.
Uh-huh.
And I was like,
what?
All right. I said, well, I think us beating on some white people in Smoky Mountains, being black, that's racist enough. He was like, no, I want y'all to be racist, like just race straight up. Like you hate black people, you hate white people, you hate everybody. You know? So I was like,
man, that's not being racist. That's being self-centered. You know, like basically you think you're better than everybody. Yeah.
All right, cool. So my first match, we did
that's most wrestlers. I mean, most heels. They think they're better than everybody else.
An interview.
So if you consider that racist, then I guess most wrestlers that are heel are that.
And I went out, and Cornette was like, say something to make white people mad. And I was like, all right, I'll do that. You know? So then he was like, say something about OJ.
What?
And that's when the Rodney King
Come
thing
on
was
now.
really hot. And OJ had killed everybody in California. You know what I mean? So it was a big deal then. So I was like, I cut the promo, and I ended up saying, I want to give a special shout out to my homeboy OJ Simpson. Keep up the good work. Too less to worry about.
Ooh.
And they lost their fucking minds. I mean, the cops had to take us to the building and pick us up, and we would have to go to the police station when we were doing the shows up there, and it's crazy.
Dang.
You know what I mean? And I mean, I had a teal green Corvette with a Malcolm X license plate on the front, and we was like, that was the back then, and Ricky Morton was like, New Jack, you need to get like a $200 car. You know what I mean? And I was like, for what? He was like, they gonna tear up your goddamn vet.
Yeah, I was thinking about that myself. They're gonna try to break the windows, all of that. After that,
So I went out and bought a $300 a van, and
he said station. He was about to say station wagon. Same difference though, right?
we was driving to the shows in.
Fake it, it'll work. Long as it ain't too much of a bucket or a lemon.
Okay. And I guess at one point, you actually brought in a white baby doll into the ring with a noose around its neck.
Ooh, he did that?
I had some dental work done.
They weren't playing back then. I wonder could they do that today? What'd happen if they did that today? Imagine Kofi Kingston come out there with a doll that looked like freaking, I don't know. What are the white people in the back? Oh, would I fly today? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. Back in that day, they was mad. You know, it wasn't that sensitive. But now, man, my man might lose his job after that.
So my jaw was, I couldn't really talk. So I told Mustafa, I said, let's go to Walmart. I said, I need to go by there and buy something. He said, what? I said, just go with me. So we went, and he was like, what you gonna get? And I said, a white baby doll.
Okay.
So he was like, for what?
For what?
I was like, trust me, just play along with it, just trust me. So we went, and I bought the white baby doll, and I put a noose around his neck. And when I got in the ring, I didn't cut a promo. I just held up the baby doll, and it was hanging from the rope. And Mustafa was hitting him with a bat. You know what I mean? And they lost their minds.
Wow. You know this Vlad didn't laugh at that point. He just like, or maybe he did. He probably put himself on mute.
Did
Did you lose a lot of money sports betting?
Hold up. We'll be back after more commercials for part 6. Okay, we back at it again to continue this. This is part 5. I thought I was on part 6, but this is part 5.
I guess what I never realized when you talk about some of these smaller leagues, especially down south, is how unbelievably racist the audience is, especially when you're kind of riling them up with a lot of these, anti-white kind of antics.
Right. Crazy.
So basically the audience was calling you the N-word, with the hard R every time you were in the ring, right?
Yeah.
So how does a black man really deal with this level of abuse?
Well,
you gotta stay prepared. Is what it is.
I told Ricky Morton that I had a problem with them calling me. So he said, New Jack, if you can piss them off to the point where they want to call you, he said, you're doing your job.
Yeah,
you know
I
what
guess.
I mean? And
yeah.
I didn't see it like that at first because I was still green. So I really wasn't used to that kind of. You know what I mean? So if I could go and cut a promo and make white people mad enough to call me, then I was doing my job.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Well, at one point, I guess a little white kid walked up to you and rubbed your arm.
Yeah.
Tell me about that situation.
He came up to me and he rubbed my arm. And he was like, I asked him, I said, I thought he was gonna shake my hand, but he rubbed my arm. I said, why'd you do that? He was like, my daddy said if you get close enough to a black person.
Heard a knock on the door. My bad. Let's continue it.
And touch him, you'll turn black. And I was like, you little. You know what I mean? And he turned around and ran. He ran away from me.
Okay.
What?
Did you ever have situations where you actually, punch someone in the audience for saying things like that?
I won't be surprised.
I chased the guy out of the building one time.
What he said?
He was calling me.
Oh.
And I jumped out of the ring and chased him out of the building. And the cops were chasing me and I was chasing him. You know what I mean?
What?
But he got away, so I never got him. But I mean, it was like they would do it and it was just like it was a Georgia sport.
Damn, if he can run that fast, he probably mixed with a little bit of black, right? If he can run like that, a little bit of Bruce Jenner.
They would do it all the fucking time.
He can run like that?
Oh, they would call you the N-word and then run out before you could catch them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's freaked up.
I remember I just interviewed Mark Henry and me and him were talking. And he said that he experienced the same type of thing sometimes where dudes would call him the N-word and he would actually confront some of the guys in the audience and be like, I'm going to close my eyes and you can go ahead and punch me as hard as you can.
Bad idea.
Happens. Right.
Damn.
Yeah, man, it's unfortunate.
He said, see what happens. Ooh. Mark ain't playing. I bet he'd have destroyed whoever tried to do that. He'd have broke him in half like a twig. I think this is, let me see, what part is this? I can't even tell. We got part 6 now? Okay, I think we had part 6. Put it back in the shot.
And at one point, with the Rock and Roll Express, you guys actually recreated the Rodney King beating in reverse.
Yeah.
Whose idea was this?
That was my idea.
Dang.
Okay.
And I told him, I said, Ricky, I said, let's go and recreate the Rodney King beating. I said, but it's gonna be all of us beating the shit out of you. And he was like, okay, Jack, that'll work. So we did it. And white people lost their mind.
Damn.
Right. I mean, you would
So what was his name? Ryan King? Instead of Rodney King? Ryan King?
refer to white people as devils.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And so forth. And And yeah, I mean, I'm really trying to picture all this, especially in the '90s, where with racial tensions being what they were, it was probably pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Well, then your teammate Mustafa, was he crazy in real life, or it was just an act?
No, Mustafa was cool, man. You know, we got along pretty good. Mustafa was cool.
All right, but at one point, I guess the rumor is that he was smoking pencil shavings.
Wait, what? How?
Yeah, we was in a hotel room, and
Isn't that lead poisoning? What the?
somebody came and got me out of the room. Came knocked on the door, and I went to the door, and they was like, Jack, Mustafa downstairs fighting the cops, and I was like, where? Is it down by the front desk? He's downstairs. So I went down there, and they had him down on the ground pent, and they were trying to handcuff him. You know what I mean? But he had been smoking pencil shavings the day before and that morning. And I always told him, I said, one day they're gonna meet and it's gonna clash in your head, and you're gonna go on the goddamn brain trip. And he did.
Oh wow! What the heck?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Kind of my strange addiction type of addiction is that?
What the hell happens if you try to smoke that? Did you ever try smoking it with him?
No.
Okay, so in the process of doing these matches, you guys had some interesting angles. At one point, you guys used affirmative action, where you could win on a 2 count instead of a 3 count.
Wait, what? Who did that?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
it's
they
in my
lied.
notes.
Oh, they lied on him. I was gonna say.
But regardless, at one point,
Hey, if I was wrestling, I want that. I fake it. If I can use that, freak it. I use it. Become world champion off that jump. They be like, paper champion. I'm like, I'm champion. You're not. That's what I say to the people in the audience that's hating. But I understand. I would understand where the hate would come from. Because that wouldn't be
the
right.
NAACP started actually picketing.
But freak it. You have wrestlers that cheat all the time. Like Edge. He used to cheat sometimes. He didn't deserve those title opportunities sometimes. Sometimes he'll freaking maneuver his way, politic his way. Storyline wise, he'll politic his way to the top.
Your shows.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
I called them some homegrown monkeys. You know, we was cutting a promo, and I referred to NAACP as some homegrown monkeys, and they lost their mind, so they started picking the show, and they went and they would have like news reports. They had a camera crew come out there, and they would be talking to them, and they was like, the gangsters, what they doing is not right, and they shouldn't be allowed to be on TV. And I was just like, come on, I don't give. So I did my thing anyway.
Oh wow!
This is the most relaxing game in 2025.
Pause. Hey, pause there, man. So we get to this next part. Dang, he could have been something if he was like on a bigger promotion. Woo, man! Imagine putting a world championship on this dude. It would have been hilarious. Hey, dang, man, missed opportunity. But hey, like JR say, white man sport. That was JR said. Was that JR or was it Jim? I forget who the freak said it. Probably was I forgot who it was. It's an R-Truth interview. I might want to find that. Cause I never seen the full interview. I don't know what part I'm at. Let's skip. Shoot, where am I even at?
Okay. So then at one point, you joined ECW.
Yeah.
Okay, 7.
Now, was ECW a bigger league than Smoky Mountain at that point, or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, ECW was the ish at some point, man.
Okay.
Me, I prefer WECW, I guess, because I'm younger.
So you get called to join ECW, and how did the Smoky Mountain guys take to that?
They didn't like the idea of us leaving. They was just like, Jack, don't go now. You know what I mean? And I was like, my run is almost up here. ECW is paying me a lot more money, so I'm going to go ahead and go. So
Yeah, man. It's not personal, it's business. Oh, crap. Excuse
me
me.
and Jim Cornette, we kind of fell out at the time. We cool now, but we fell out at the time because I went on and jumped ship and went to ECW.
Okay. So what was different about ECW than Smoky Mountain?
Sure, you do what you want.
ECW was nuts.
Yeah, do what you want.
I mean, it was like they would fly us in. We go to the hotel, go do a show. After the show, go back to the hotel, and all the fans would come down there to the bar with us, and we would just have a big ass party. You know what I mean?
See?
And I mean, it was nuts.
Yeah.
It was more blood in ECW.
Yeah.
Okay. And did your matches get more bloody when you joined ECW, or were you already kind of doing that in Smoky Mountain?
No, they got bloody in ECW.
See? Yeah.
Okay. At what point did you start stapling people's foreheads?
Oh.
I was suspended one time for doing something in the locker room. I got suspended. And I was helping my buddy lay carpet. And I had a staple gun, and I was stapling the carpet pad to the floor. And it just hit me, it clicked in my head. I was like, this would be a good tool to use in the ring. So I bought me a staple gun. When I went back to ECW, I had a staple gun, and I told the guy, I said, we're gonna use the staple gun. And I had staples in it, but I wouldn't staple them. You know, I would act like I stapled, but I would staple the back of my hand. You know, so they went along with it. And I mean, you when you do that, I mean, I'm sure you know this by now. It's like when you bleed, you cut yourself with a razor. That's why my forehead looks like it does now.
Yeah.
You know, but we would bleed, you cut yourself, and when I was stapling them, it looks like I'm stapling them, and then they come up and they get what we call it gigging. They would gig, and then they would bleed, and that was a whole big deal. And it went worldwide. Everybody started using staple gun after that.
Damn.
Okay, but you weren't actually stapling their forehead. You were stapling your own hand?
Yeah.
How painful is that?
Yeah, I had tape on it.
Oh, okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. Well, and around that time, you said how you were basically snorting cocaine every night.
Oh, man.
Just about.
Okay. At what point did your cocaine habit start?
We was at a bar one night, and I was drunk. I was drunk off my fucking ass. And one of the pit bulls was at the bar.
Goodness.
And his Sandman's girlfriend was at the bar, and she was like, "New Jack, what's wrong with you?" And I said, I'm fucking drunk." And she was like, "You ever did coke?" And at the time, I was like, "No." She said, "Well, Pitbull got some coke he'll give you, and that'll bring your drunk down." So I was like, "All right." So I went and tried
Why the heck would you? Man, you can't believe that.
it. And I was drinking the rest of that night up until the morning. You know what I mean? And I was like, it did work. And after that, I started snorting.
Oh, wow. So it did work.
Okay.
That's strange.
And how bad did the habit get at one point?
I was doing like an ounce a weekend.
Okay. And to put in perspective, how much does an ounce cost?
Is that a lot? I think so.
About $1,200.
So you had a $5,000 a month habit.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why he remind me of Mystical. Danger. Ding. It's all love.
At Aspen Dental, we've reimagined.
I don't know how many of y'all know that song. Been so long. Yeah, I don't listen to that stuff no more, man. Though, you know, I listen to my Bible rap. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So then, you know, as you're part of ECW
Part 9.
on November 23rd,
No, this part
1996, in Massachusetts, you got paired up with a new wrestler named Mass Transit.
Right.
So tell me what led up to this match.
He must have been big
It
as
was
hell.
supposed to be
with
me
that
and
name.
Mustafa against Devon and Axel Rotten. But Axel had a death in the family, and he didn't show up. So this new kid that came up, and he was like, he wanted to get a tryout. So he was a big old fat white boy. And Paulie was like, we take a look at him, and he was like, Jack, you want to work him? And I was like, I don't give a fuck who I work. I said, I'll work anybody. So he put him with Devon. But the kid came up to me, and he was like, New Jack, can I do some stuff to you in the match? He said, my dad is in the audience. And he was like, I want to get some stuff in. So I was like, no. And he was like, well, just let me get just a little bit of stuff in. And he said, I want to bleed. But he said, I've never done it before. He said, I never gave before. So will you do it for me?
Why the heck you want to bleed for, bro? Continue.
And by then I was pissed off. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So we got in the match, and the time came for him to bleed. And I had a surgical scalpel. I took it and I cut him in the head with it. And blood just shot out like everywhere. You know what I mean? And they stopped the match. The cops came. The ambulance came. Paulie rushed me out the back door. And I went back to Atlanta. And it was a few months later, they pressed charges on me. So I had to go surrender myself to Boston. And they locked me up.
Oh.
Okay. Well, Mass Transit, his real name was Eric Kulas.
Yeah.
And he presented himself as, I guess, a 21-year-old that was trained by this guy, Killer Kowalski.
Yeah.
Which he lied.
But in reality, he was actually 17 years old.
Yeah.
Which nobody knew at the time.
Right.
So you go and cut him, and blood starts just squirting out. And then you announce, I hope this fat piece of shit bleeds to death, because I don't give a f.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
And as he's bleeding, you and Mustafa keep beating him up.
Yeah.
You guys are like
Yep, I read about that. I was like, bruh.
jumping off the top ropes and slamming him, lifting him up, and there's just it's just total mayhem.
Yeah.
And later on you said, I was high, I didn't care, it didn't matter to me. The fans loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
So you really didn't care what happened to him at that point?
No, I didn't.
Because it was his idea for you to cut him?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all on you, young man.
Well, as he's bleeding out, and I guess, they're calling for the ambulance or whatever, the father starts calling you the N-word.
Yeah.
Oh.
He came to the locker room, and the security guy wasn't letting him in the locker room, but I could hear him out there screaming, New Jack, you cut my son, and this, that, and the other. So I told him, I said, let him back here.
Oh, he said, let him in here. Let him in here.
And they wouldn't. And then by now, Paulie was telling me to get my stuff and let's go. So I left the building.
What's Paul E?
Okay.
Is that Paul?
Well, Mass Transit got 2 of his arteries in his head severed.
I read about that. Yeah.
And 50 stitches.
Yeah.
You went to court over it, but you ended up beating it.
Right.
Yeah.
How did you beat it?
I had a good attorney.
Oh. Probably Paul himself.
Jim Murberg was his name. He was a good attorney. And he basically took apart all the shit that Eric Kula was saying had happened to him. He was lying about the stuff that had happened to him. And he just dissected the whole goddamn videotape that he had. And he took him apart.
And you were found not guilty?
Yeah.
How did that feel?
It was good. I ain't go to jail.
Okay.
Straight
I guess
up.
because of that incident, you couldn't go back to Boston for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Did people just want your head at that point?
Yeah.
No, the fans wanted me to come back.
Oh.
Okay.
But it was the cops that they had a problem with me. So finally I did end up going back to Boston, and it was unannounced that I was there. So my music hit, Natural Born Killers. When my music hit, I went to the ring, and the fans lost their goddamn mind. They were glad
Okay.
to see me back.
Okay, so what were the cops trying to say at that point? I mean, before.
They were just like, if you cut somebody again, you're going to jail and we ain't gonna let you get away this time. And they were just with me, and I was just like, I ain't gonna cut nobody. You know, I'm like, I ain't gonna cut nobody. I got away with it one time. I ain't gonna cut nobody.
Dang.
Okay. Did Mass Transit's family try to sue you civilly as well, or was it just a criminal case?
Yeah, civil. They came after me civil, but I had an attorney again, and he got it dismissed.
Okay. Mass Transit ended up dying in 2002 from a gastric bypass surgery. I guess
Yup, I read about that. He was too fat. May the Lord rest his soul.
that's like that surgery to make you skinnier.
Yeah.
Did you feel some type of way when he died?
No, I didn't.
Did you ever talk to him after that?
No.
No.
So I don't care. That's crazy.
I mean, by this point, was this the most gruesome thing that ever happened in wrestling, or was there worse incidences that you can compare it to?
No, this was rated.
Shoot, I mean, some people passed in the ring, so.
This was ranked in the top.
In the top.
Yeah.
Taxes.
I mean, some people didn't make it in the ring, so I don't know if that's the worst, but it's one of the worst, I would say. Some people never walked out that ring. They were gone. Gave up the ghost. Right on the damn canvas. Let's see. We're on the next part. I think it's part 9 right here. Let's see what's happening.
Okay. So then you continue in the ECW. I guess you formed the Gangstonators in '97.
Gangstanators. What?
There was some fans that came up with that name. I never called myself the Gangsta Native. There was some fans came up with that stupid.
Wow.
Okay. And then by '99, you were feuding with the Dudley Boys.
Yeah.
I mean, how was that whole experience in ECW after that whole situation?
I mean, the mass trainer thing died down. You know, and I went back to being New Jack and doing what I was well known to do. And everybody went on their merry way, you know.
Okay. And then we fast forward to 2000. There was the Living Dangerously pay-per-view in Connecticut. And you had a match against Vic Grimes.
Right.
Talk about that situation.
Paulie wanted me and Vic to go through a table. Through 2 tables.
Ooh.
And I was cool with it. I wasn't cool with going through 2 tables because it was a hazard. It was a to go through 1 table is easy, but to try to go through 2, you don't know if the table gonna slip off the top table or what, and you don't know where you're gonna fall, where you're gonna land.
Ooh.
So I didn't want to go through 2. But he went on and said, well, Jack, just go through 2 and everything will be fine. So I was like, all right.
Oh,
I was like, all right, just we'll do that. So Vic's ass, when I went and talked to him, he was like, I said, did you go and check the scaffold out? He was like, yeah, I went and checked it out. I said, is it okay? Because I was running late because it was snowing. And he was like, yeah, I checked it out and everything's fine, so we ought to be all right. I'm like, all right. So when it came time for us to go off the scaffold, we got up top. And Vic didn't want to go. And I was like, Vic, let's go on 3. And he was like, and then we having this conversation on pay-per-view, on TV live. You know what
Damn,
I mean?
so he was scared. He was
Jack,
scared.
I can't go, it's too high. I said, where we going? He said, I can't, it's too high. So I just pulled him down and he landed on top of me and he did a flip and his back leaned up against my head and it slammed my head into the floor. And I cracked my skull.
So from that fall, you had a broken leg, a skull fracture,
Right,
brain damage,
right,
permanent insomnia,
right,
permanent blindness in your right eye.
right.
So you can't see out of your right eye at all.
No.
Shoot. What? His right eye looks normal though. What the freak? He should have listened to that guy. But the dude he didn't want to do it. Then the dude didn't want to do it. Bro, you gotta listen to your intuition, man. Might be the Holy Ghost.
Okay.
What the heck?
Was the scar on your forehead, did that come from that situation?
No, I cracked the back. I cracked my head in the back.
Dang.
The scars on my forehead, that was just years of cutting my head.
Okay. So you have this horrific fall. And how long were you in the hospital for?
Months.
Months.
I had a feeling.
I guess there's memory loss and really bad headaches and everything else like that?
Yeah.
How mad were you when you basically woke up in the hospital?
I was pissed off. You know what I mean? I was pissed off. You know? And then in winter time, he didn't call me to see how I was doing or nothing. The mother let me sit there, you know? And I was sitting at home in the dark. You know what I mean? And when I went back to ECW, I walked up to Vic and I punched him in the goddamn face. You know? And I was like, you know, because I mean, I was pissed. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. What was that first reaction when you guys came face to face after that situation? I mean, apart from the face punching.
He was like, Jay, I didn't mean to do it. I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to do it. You know what I mean? But he had went for months and he didn't even call me. He never got in touch with me. And I was upset about it.
Damn.
Okay. Was that the worst injury you'd ever had in your life?
Had to be, man.
Okay, so then in 2001,
Months?
ECW declared bankruptcy.
Right.
Yeah, too much was going on.
So where was your career at that point?
I went on the indie circuit. And just started taking bookings and traveling around, around the world, just doing my shows still.
Okay, so then in February 2002, you and Grimes have a rematch.
Right.
And you guys decide to jump off of a 40-foot scaffolding.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
Okay. Before this, what was the highest jump you've ever done?
35 feet.
35 feet. Okay.
Bro.
Is this considered completely unusual in the wrestling world, or do people do this on a regular basis?
Nobody ever did it. I got the highest jump on record to this day, 35 feet.
35 feet.
But with this scaffold, I threw Vic off of the scaffold. It was 40 feet.
Okay. Now explain to someone who really doesn't know too much about this how a human being literally falls off 35 to 40 feet into a bunch of tables and walks away.
He was lucky.
Right, no, I'm saying like on a not that particular match, because I want to get into that, but on a typical match, you're talking about jumping, I mean, even 15 feet is pretty damn high, but you're talking about 15, 20, 30, 35 feet. You fall, and what, the tables break your fall?
Well, he was supposed to fall through the table.
He missed them?
But I threw him past the table.
Damn.
So he just clipped one. He barely hit one table, and he fell and he landed on the ropes.
Okay,
and that's what broke his fall.
In that particular situation with the 40-foot drop, there were 12 tables stacked on top of each other. So the idea was he fell on the first one, they would all kind of collapse and break the fall?
That's what was supposed to happen.
They crazy, bro. They are crazy. They're crazy.
But it didn't happen because I threw him over the table.
Okay, was that in retaliation for what he did?
Yeah.
Okay. And
without hesitation, he said, yeah.
Had he fell a little bit over, he would have been dead.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Were you trying to kill him?
Yeah.
Without hesitation, yeah. The way he answering these questions, it remind me of Candace Owens when, what's that guy's name that's been locked up recently? Don Lemon. He asked her, he's like, am I going to go to hell for my lifestyle? She was like, yeah. Allah. Direct and blood.
Was he just totally terrified when you pushed him off at that point?
He was like, Jack, I can't feel my legs. I had a stun gun I bought. I went and bought a stun gun. So we was up on the scaffold. I started tasing him. And he was like, Jack, I can't feel my leg. I said, you ain't gonna need them. And I threw him. Like, bombs away. And the mother hit the table. He clipped the table, and then he hit the ropes and fell back in the ring.
How did he fall back into the ring? What? I gotta see this footage.
Okay.
If they
and I
have
guess
it.
he ultimately didn't really hurt himself that much. I guess he dislocated his ankle and a couple other small injuries, but falling off 40 feet, like literally being thrown 40 feet off the air, I mean, that's
I
just
need a drink. Hold on.
the act of God right there, the fact that he's not dead or
For
seriously
real.
crippled.
Yeah.
Act of God.
Okay.
Man.
And was that the biggest fall in wrestling history?
Yeah.
40 feet.
Yep.
Okay. When you're standing up there and you look down 35, 40 feet, what actually gets you to do that slam or that jump at that point?
I mean, we had planned it, so he knew he was going. He just didn't know where he was going to land. And I threw him, and he landed, like I said, he clipped one table, and he hit the ropes and fell back in the ring. You know what I mean? But I didn't give a where he landed. I wanted to die.
No.
Okay.
Come on.
What was the
man.
conversation like afterwards?
There wasn't one.
Boy, that was the coldest dish served. Called revenge. Damn.
There wasn't one. There wasn't one.
That's cold, man.
So that was it. Basically, after that, you never spoke again.
Nope.
Okay.
Just like the first time.
Did he ever speak about it publicly?
Somebody said he went on Hannibal TV and was leaving comments after the interview I did 2 weeks ago with Hannibal. And they said that he was commenting about the fall or whatever, you know what I mean? But he never said anything to me.
That makes him look like a coward. I can't lie. Damn.
My laptop is a...
He kept avoiding him even the first time. With the injury left him blind in one eye, he kept avoiding him. I guess he was afraid of him. I mean, he is kind of a scary guy. Especially his beginnings and all of that. Just see the scars on his forehead. You don't want to mess with this dude. Heck no. Okay. What is part 10? Let's see.
Well, then in April 2003, you get a match against Gypsy Joe, who was 69 at the time or 71. I can't quite figure out the age, but around 70 years old. This is a senior citizen. And I guess this was billed Gypsy Joe, who had been wrestling for like at that point was 60 years or something.
Yeah.
Or like 50 something. He's been wrestling for 50 something years, and he was billed as the man that feels no pain.
Yeah.
Okay. Why would you even wrestle an old man like this?
Okay. I told the promoter that I didn't want to do this match.
Wow.
But he was like, no, New Jack, it'll be fine. You know, y'all just go out there and have a good time and won't nobody get hurt, nothing, whatever. And
Okay.
I was like, I didn't want to, I told him, I said, I don't want to work him. He was like, no, he's cool with it. So I was like, all right. I was like, all right, just whatever you're going to do, we're going to do it. So we went, and he came up to me and he was like, Jack, he said, just listen to me. I can teach you a lot. And I was like, you talking to me? And he was like, yeah, just listen to me. I'll teach you a lot. Don't worry about it, kid. I got you. And when he said that, I lost it. So we got in the ring and we started.
Maybe he lost
He
it.
was no selling my punches. I was throwing punches. It wasn't registering. I would kick him. It wasn't registering. I headbutt him. He wasn't doing nothing. He wasn't selling it. And I was like, okay, this, you know what I mean?
Oh,
so it was a bat laying in the ring. I went in the ring, got that bat, had barbed wire wrapped around it.
No.
And I walked up to him and started hitting him in the head with it. And I picked up the chairs and threw the chairs on top of him. You know, he didn't have no business being in the ring with me. I understand he was 70-something years old, but he didn't have no business being in the ring with me. And I showed his ass that he didn't belong there.
Yo, I showed him.
I guess in the process of you beating this old man down, like the audience started calling you the N-word and everything else like that.
It was in Tennessee, yeah.
Okay, which made you more mad.
Yeah.
Showed you they didn't care for that guy. They hated him more than they loved the guy. Why would you piss him off if he already hurting this dude? You want to piss him off? I was better off saying, please, please, please no more. Please, please, please no more. All y'all throwing up the eggs for emergency. But no.
So you just beat him harder.
Yeah. Look.
I mean, how does anyone really survive a hit to the head with a barbed wire bat?
Got a hard head.
Yeah, dude was tough. Tough as heck. So I guess they wasn't lying.
Okay. How badly was he messed up when you were done?
He just had a couple of knots on his head. He was all right.
He was all right?
Yeah.
He tough. Yo,
okay.
He's tough.
Did you ever talk to him afterwards?
No.
No?
He always do that. And, he always does that. Why? Why do he do that? Beat the crap out of people, then no conversation after. I think I have a few parts left. I'm gonna try to stop it at right here. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop it right here, man. I gotta do a part 2. Otherwise, the video too damn long and the file is too big to upload. Yeah, I'll be back on a part 2 of this after all these commercial breaks and messages. Praise Jah. Okay, we back at it. This is part 2. Let's see what's going on with it.
For the Thunder Wrestling Federation, and you were wrestling against.
Wait, hold up, bring it back. So I don't miss nothing. I don't want to miss nothing. I don't want to miss nothing.
So then, in 2004, you started wrestling for the Thunder Wrestling Federation, and you were wrestling a guy named Hunter Red.
Yeah.
What happened in that situation?
We were supposed to talk over the match. I told Hunter Red, I was sitting out in the audience, and there was a few people there, and I told him, I said, let's talk about what we're gonna do in the match. And he was like, I do whatever. And I was like, all right.
Okay.
I'm like, just let's go in the back and talk about it. He was like, no, I don't need to talk about it. I do whatever. He said, whatever you want to do, I'll do it.
That's strange.
So I was like, all right, no problem. So he went in the ring. He got in the ring with me, and we locked up. And he backed me up and started punching me in the face.
For real? Or?
Well, some people knew that I carried a knife in the ring. Some people, a few people knew. And I had it in my pocket that night. And when he started punching me, I grabbed the rope. He was trying to pick me up and dump me. I grabbed the rope and I pulled the knife out and started stabbing him. It was like 9 times.
And look how he said it. It was just 9 times. Like it's a small deal. Come on, man.
On TV, on the news, they said it was 16, but it was 9. It was only 9.
They exaggerated it?
Okay, and you're actually stabbing him like when the back of the head?
I stabbed him everywhere. I stuck him everywhere.
Not the eyes, right?
Okay. And I guess there was only like 30, 40 people in the audience.
Yeah,
it was not like a big...
It was empty.
It was empty.
Yeah, not much witnesses.
But, I mean, I remember seeing the dark side of the ring. Like, you see the audience and people were like holding their hands over their mouths, like just terrified that this was happening.
Yeah.
And someone called the police.
Yep.
The police showed up, guns drawn.
Yep.
Were you worried at all that you were going to get shot at that point? Here you are in Tennessee? Wait, where were you at the time?
Florida.
In Florida.
Yeah.
Okay, even worse.
In the South. Who said
Here
worse?
you are in Florida. You just stabbed up a white man, and the police show up, not really knowing the situation. Well, how'd you feel at that point?
I knew I was going to jail.
Yeah, he knew that.
So I just dropped down to my knees with my hand over my head, and I was just like, all right, y'all got me. Just whatever, take me to jail.
Okay. And I guess one of the cops asked you why you hate white people so much.
He did.
Oh.
Okay, what'd you answer?
I started laughing.
Oh.
All right. So then you get charged with a couple of felonies, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, aggravated assault to commit murder.
Yeah.
So you're actually facing potential murder charges. Well, I mean, attempted murder charges.
Damn.
But the guy you were wrestling actually didn't press charges against you.
No, he didn't.
Okay. So what was the conversation like after you guys talked?
He came out of the jail and he was like, New Jack. He said, I asked him, I said, why are you here? He said, I want to talk to you. He said, I'll drop the charges if you take me on the road with you and train me, and we could go around Florida and do the Florida circuit, and we can have this match like Hunter Red is after New Jack. And I told him, I said, you got to drop the charges first. He was like, all right, I'll do it. So he went down there to the courthouse and dropped the charges, and I went to court, and they dismissed it, and I got out. And I left Florida. I moved from Florida. I left that same day. I left, got the out of there.
Did you ever come back?
Yeah, I went back.
Okay.
Wait, so he didn't even keep up his end of the bargain? Dang, I had a feeling he would do that. He just got to drop the charges first.
So after that situation, what happened next with your career?
I went on the indie circuit.
Okay. And you continued to wrestle. You know, there was an article that came out in 2012 in Bleacher Report. It was about the Extreme reunion in 2012. And it said, New Jack is scheduled to appear, but he shouldn't be allowed to wrestle there or anywhere. Throughout his career, New Jack has proved that he is a dangerous, sadistic maniac. Wrestlers should be afraid to step in the ring with New Jack. There have been too many times where his matches have devolved into a legitimate attack.
So what?
I mean, what do you expect, bro? It's ECW. I'm like, bro, look at this show. You shouldn't be surprised if that happened at ECW.
I don't give a so what? But I tell you what I did do. You know, you know who Bootsy Collins is, right?
Oh, wow.
Of course.
The singer.
Okay.
Yep.
Bootsy made me a video.
I gotta see this video.
We did a song together. Who'd y'all come to see? New Jack. And it's on YouTube. You can check it out.
Yeah, I gotta see this.
And I had asked Paulie, would he change my music to that song? And he wouldn't do it.
Aw.
But he still gave me the rights to the video. And we did it, and it turned out good. So I just want to give him a little plug.
Sure, I bet he sound like Mystical on that joint. If he's rapping. He already reminds me of Mystical. Been so long. I was born to be a soldier. That's a different song.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg was on there too? Dang. That's crazy.
Well, there was a situation, I guess in 2015, where you had an incident. There was I guess it's called the American Gangsters incident.
Oh, that
You
wasn't
know what I'm
nothing.
talking about? Wasn't nothing.
No.
What's that?
It was just, we had a match with these kids, and we just them up. You know what I mean? They wanted to bleed, so I gave them, and they was just like, they was fine with it.
Okay, so in general, like, who decides if someone bleeds before a match?
The person taking it.
The opponent.
Yeah.
Okay, so he says, "Okay, I want to bleed."
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And typically you use a small razor.
Yeah. Or a surgical scalpel.
No, don't use
And
that.
you've
no.
been cut how many times in your forehead?
Hundreds.
Hundreds.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. And that was something you agreed to do beforehand.
Yeah.
How many people did you cut?
About 4.
Okay.
4 or 5.
That's a surprise.
Okay. Was there a point? I mean, because at one point you announced retirement, but then you came back and did more matches.
I retired in 2013, and I sat at home for 2 years, bored. I didn't have shit to do. I was like, I'm going back to wrestling. So I went back.
Okay.
Makes
Are you
sense.
still wrestling?
No, I had surgery on my ankle. My ankle's been in a brace for like 2 years.
Okay. That's what caused you to finally retire.
Yeah.
Damn. This guy. Dude don't care, man. Okay, this part 12 right here, I think. Let's see what's happening with it.
There was a video that came out where you, the Iron Sheik, and Honky Tonk Man were talking about the Chris Benoit double murder and suicide.
Yeah.
Did you know Chris Benoit at all?
Yeah, I knew that.
Wait, what he called him?
So for those that don't know, Chris Benoit killed his wife and his 7-year-old son and then killed himself.
Right.
And when it
pretty
happened,
crazy.
I guess certain, wrestling stars were trying to defend him and so forth.
Yeah.
You
But
can't
you
defend
felt
that.
very differently.
You
Yeah.
can't.
How did you feel?
Nancy and I were friends. And we was cool when we would do shows in Philly mainly. We go to the bar. And after she had a few drinks, she was like, New Jack, you walk me to my room. You know what I mean? And I was like, I said, Nancy, I got you, don't worry about it. So I'll walk into her room and make sure she got in the room all right, and I'll go back to the bar. And we would travel together sometimes. And when he killed her, it didn't register to me that that's who he had killed. Because they kept saying the wife of Chris Benoit. They never said her name, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together. So finally when I did, I was like, that mother,
Damn.
And I was like, for everybody that's got something good to say about it, they can suck my, you know what I mean? I was like, that I'm not going that mother aid. I'm not going to be standing behind him talking about how good of a wrestler he was. I think he's a piece of And everybody that didn't agree with me, I told them, y'all can all eat my ass. I'm like, I don't give a about none of you.
Y'all was supposed to block that. What the heck?
That's an absolutely horrific story.
Well, Paul said the same thing. Paul said, no, forget that guy.
And along with that story, people tried to pin him doing that on CTE and
CTE,
brain damage, concussions, and so
The
forth.
one dude, I forget
But
his
you
name.
don't feel any of that related to
He
the
never got
murders.
hit in the head.
He ain't
I'll
never
show
got
you
hit.
tapes of Benoit putting his hand up in the way of it, taking a chair shot. You know what I mean? He never got hit in the head. So that was maybe steroids, but it wasn't no guy that you just mentioned. It wasn't that. That never,
Damn, my man said it was roid rage.
never happened.
Not roid
Well,
rage,
in the
man.
process of this
Dang.
conversation, that kind of developed over Chris Benoit, you had made a comment that, ECW was seen as violent and dangerous,
Yeah.
but only one person died while you were there, whereas WWE has about
several.
3 people
Yeah.
die a year.
Yeah, several, yeah.
Who died in ECW?
Louis Pagodi.
What happened to him?
How did he die?
He fell from something
Pills.
up high? Oh,
Overdose.
Okay.
oh, okay.
How many people have died in WWE?
Shoot, that happened to non-wrestlers all the time. Sad.
A few. A lot.
A lot.
Okay. Because you had mentioned that Vince McMahon had blood on his hands and he keeps getting away with murder.
Yeah.
That blood money. Now they got that Saudi blood money now. Oh, that's a whole different kind
Explain
of
that.
blood money.
I mean, okay,
Allegedly.
Owen Hart when he died.
Look at that.
Okay, he died at a show in the ring.
And they continued it.
And Vince still had the show. The show went on.
Yeah.
You know, and his wife sued him. I think she sued him.
Probably
you know what I mean?
lost.
But it was like every time something would happen with one of his wrestlers, he would brush it over like it didn't happen. You know what I mean? And time would go by, and he's like, okay, we'll let that go away, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, how in the is this guy, every time somebody dies, he gets away with it?
How you
You know?
think?
And that's why I said he had blood on his hands. Because
So how you think he get away with it? He's of the elite. I'm just saying. Well, allegedly.
so many people kept dying in that company, and just they just had a guy die like 2 weeks ago. You know?
Yeah, I remember Vince was on Real Sports like a long time ago, and they were asking about all the people who died and so forth. And I remember he got mad and like hit the guy's paper out of his hands.
Yeah.
You remember that?
No.
Yeah, show the
You
clip.
know, when you talk about the WWE, you've never been a part of that.
No.
No,
I guess you made a comment that you heard that when speaking about you, Vince said that he wouldn't hire you because he can't control you.
Right.
Okay, do you believe that?
Yeah.
no hesitation. He said, yeah. This dude, I can't lie, this guy is one of the best. I think he's probably the best that I've seen on Vlad TV answering questions. He either say yes or no. Most people, hey, what color is the sky today? Well, as you can see, you know, it's cloudy out there. You know, the other day it was lightning. And I was driving my car, and you know, I was late for a wedding, and caught a flat tire. I got pulled over, and cop was a bit of a jerk. You know, he said I had a missing light when I didn't, because the car is pretty new. Wait, hold on. I asked you what color the sky was. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to that. So yeah, did I tell you it was hailing? No, you told me it was raining. Yeah, it was raining, right? Yeah. Cop pulled me over. This guy, you ask him, what color the sky? He'll be like, it's blue. They didn't take notes from this guy.
But on the flip side, people also look at you as you being a financial liability.
All that.
The stuff that you do. I mean,
True.
Facts.
you know, suing Smoky Mountain is a whole lot different than suing.
Hold on, I'll be back. I gotta check these. This pot. Okay, I'm back. Let's see. Continue.
the WWE. You're not going to get very much out of Smoky Mountain.
No.
Or the ECW, which ended up going bankrupt. But the WWE is a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Multi-billion, man.
I believe it's a public corporation. You can buy stock in WWE.
Yeah.
Or, oh yeah, you can. Yeah.
What do you think overall about Vince McMahon?
I think he's a piece of
Piece of, yeah, I remember he said that.
plain and simple, he's a piece of
Yeah, piece of it. Piece of it. I said it.
And why is that exactly?
because of all the stuff that he's done. You know what I mean? He'll bring people in, and when their run is up, he'll embarrass them. He'll maybe go out and have a match, and it'll be some degrading ass. You know what I'm saying?
That happens,
and
yeah.
That's what he's known for. You know, they had him on that one night where he called somebody
Yeah,
with John Cena.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the, you know?
Well, actually, he called John Cena that. Booker was just there, like.
And he continues to do that, and he continues to get away with it. And I'm just like, what, dude? I mean, I wouldn't last 2 weeks in WWE.
I wouldn't either, but it's for a whole different reason. I just come across as a what they call it these days, a Pharisee. They get me out of there. I'll be like,
well, I remember I interviewed Mark Henry, who was, a big star in WWE, and we talked about a situation where there was a storyline where they were referring to the black wrestlers as silverback gorillas.
yeah. I remember
And
that.
he
yeah.
approached Vince about this, and he said that Vince supported him and asked him to approach the writers, and they got it taken out. But overall, Mark spoke highly about Vince and the organization. Do you feel that WWE...
That don't mean nothing to him. Look at his eyes as he telling him this. He's like, he's not like, oh, okay. He's like, that don't mean anything to me. He don't feel how I feel.
WWE is a racist organization when it comes to the black wrestlers?
Yeah, because they always got the black guy doing stupid shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exhibit A. R-Truth. Man, he was supposed to have the run of 2020. Was it 2025? He should have had the best run of that freaking year. Let him lose the championship in 2026. We in 2026 now. That man was supposed to dethrone John Cena, but that's a whole different conversation, ain't it?
They come out dancing and tap dancing and
Dancing
wearing
and
dresses
crap.
and
Yeah.
eating cereal and all that silly ass shit.
Oh, he talking about the New Day.
I mean, the mother is like retarded.
Cereal, yeah, he said
We
cereal.
know why you've put on.
Them cereals, the name of those cereal is just so freaking perverted. Who came up with that? Some type of freaking deviant? Who came up with the name of that cereal? Why would you name that cereal that? You'd have been better off naming it freaking Poop-O's instead of it. Let's keep moving. Okay, we got part 13 right here. Weirdos.
Okay. So if you were asked to join the WWE and do some matches, you wouldn't do it?
No.
You sure? You sure? Hey. Me, myself, I say all the time, if I was a wrestler, like, I would have been in TNA like Moose did. I know a lot of people probably questioned Moose's decision to stay there so long, but it's like, bro, they put the World Championship on him. Why would he leave? You know? They put the World Championship on him. It's the same thing with Truth. Why would he leave TNA when they put the NWA World Championship on him twice? I don't know. It must be for the pay or something.
What do you think about wrestling these days compared to when you...
He could have been a 4-time NWA World Champion. Okay, continue.
I don't watch it.
Don't watch it at all?
No.
Not watchable, is it?
Okay. And why is that?
It's okay, though.
I have no interest in it.
Yeah, he's like, I don't like
I
that
have
junk.
no interest in none whatsoever in it.
None of this PG junk.
Before the interview, I asked
He said, I can't tolerate
some
this.
of my followers on Twitter a couple questions to ask you, and
Okay.
a couple came up. One asked about Gold Dust's ex-wife. And
Who's his ex-wife? What is that? Who is that?
We dated for like a year and a half.
Oh. Okay.
That was it.
Okay.
I mean, I know people got mad about it because they were like, how did they get that girl? How did they get that girl? You know what I'm saying? I know people were pissed off about it, but I didn't give a... And
what's her
it
name?
lasted for a year and a half and it went away.
Okay, and this is Terri Runnels?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, she's like a Playboy bunny. Not that I know what they even look like, but you know.
Okay, very pretty lady.
Yeah.
Okay. Dang.
Okay.
Yeah, she look kind of like Tori Wilson a little bit, right?
Very pretty lady.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think people are so pissed off about it?
What do you think?
Come on, man.
What do you
They're
think? They already don't like him because of the characters he portrayed in the past. But let's see what he say.
There's a family chick, you know, got the daughter and she's wholesome supposedly, but she's full of shit. You know what I mean? And they're like, how did New Jack get her? You know, and they were hating me. People hated me because of this. You know, and I thought it was the funniest in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, when you say she's supposed to be wholesome, but she's full of shit, what does that mean?
It means she's not what she seemed to be.
I mean, I ain't gonna talk bad about her. You know, I mean, I could, but I'm not gonna talk bad about her. We was in a relationship for a year and a half, and it didn't work, so we parted ways.
That's all. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. She was a good ass nigga.
Hey, you said you wasn't gonna talk bad about her, but hey, let's keep moving. Like we didn't hear that. Lord,
alrighty then.
Lord, please forgive me. I didn't know that was gonna go in my ear. I didn't know.
A little more information than I needed to know, but hey. It
Forgive him too.
She is going to be so angry when she sees this. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Her and Goldust are going to throw they're going to throw something against the wall like when they see this. Did you know Goldust at all?
Yeah, I knew it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did you guys talk after you dated his ex-wife?
Probably not.
She would take me by the house sometime with her. And I'd be like, what the is wrong with you?
Ooh. She just didn't give a damn. She didn't care.
Woo. Okay.
I told y'all she looked like a Playboy bunny. See, you know, see how they get down. You know how they get
Local
down.
tax expert.
She didn't give a damn about what that man thought or his feelings. Damn, man. Let's go to the next. I think this is the last part. 15 out of 15.
All right. Another question I got was, I guess there was a confrontation between you and Kevin Nash.
All right, let's see what happened.
Kevin, one day we had to do a signing, and Kevin was there and I was there. And I walked up behind him and playfully put my arm around his neck like I was choking him.
Okay.
I let him go. He looked at me and said, "No, Jack." I'm like, "What's up, Kevin?" He said, "Nothing, man. How you been? I ain't seen you in a long time." I said, "Kevin, come to think of it, we never met." I said, "This is my first time ever seeing you." I said, "But I've heard you say some interesting things about me."
Oh.
Because
it's time to rock and roll.
There was a deal with Master P when he came to WCW.
I'm in control.
They wanted me to be a part of Master P's group.
That's crazy. Did I say this dude remind me of Mystical? I said it, bro. I think even Master P saw it.
But Kevin Nash was on booking. He was on booking committee. He shot it down. He was like, "No, that's a liability. You can't bring him in." So, no, we're not gonna do it. So they didn't bring me in because of that.
I understand. My man is a bit nuts.
And we spoke about it, but it was just like, what the f***, man? It's like, just you was being you and I'm being me. So just, and I went away.
That was that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they're saying that he tells a slightly different story.
What he said.
I don't get what he said. I mean,
I don't care what he said.
There's his story, there's his side, and there's my side.
And then there's the truth in between.
There you go.
You know how it go. Yeah.
A lot of people watched the movie The Wrestler. Did you see it?
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
With Mickey Rourke. Great movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the one thing that kind of stood out from that movie, as someone
yet.
who's not like a big-time wrestling fan, was, it showed this wrestler who was now aging, really almost at the very end of his career.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you see him at one of those conventions, and he's looking around at all the other wrestlers who are signing autographs, taking pictures. One of them's in a wheelchair. One of them's leg is completely messed up. You yourself, your ankles were messed up. And, you had a fractured skull. You had all types of damage throughout the course of your life. When you look back
was it worth
on wrestlers who really sacrifice their bodies in the way that they do, what do you think about it now?
He'll probably do it again.
It's best to have insurance.
Yeah.
Get you some good life insurance, good health insurance.
Do you regret any of the stuff that you did in the ring now as you're older?
No.
See? He'll do it again.
No. Okay. But you have braces on your ankles.
I got a brace on my right ankle.
Your right ankle.
I mean, it's not a brace, it's a boot. Because I had surgery in November. So I've been wearing the boot now for like 6 months, 7 months.
Okay. Is it coming off at one point?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Will you go back to the ring after it comes off?
I might.
Dang, he don't care.
I can still go.
He look like he can.
I can still go, bro.
Yeah, I bet.
No.
You signed up for it.
Yeah.
You said in in the Dark Side of the Ring documentary, the way you would want your movie to end is you in a wheelchair snorting a bunch of coke.
What? He said that? That's crazy.
That's how I wanted to end. With a handful of...
Wow. That's crazy, man.
Do you still partake, or have you kicked the habit?
No, I stopped doing it years ago.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what made you stop?
You're just joking.
My heart.
Ooh.
You had a heart attack?
I heard that in
No,
that show.
I'm on heart medicine. I'm on heart medication.
Oh.
Mm.
Do you think it's because of the cocaine?
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay. Yeah, I had a friend of mine overdose and die off cocaine at 23.
Yeah.
Oh.
That made me never want to take it. I remember being at the funeral, and this is a 23-year-old who I grew up with, dead. And this was like, by the time he died from that heart attack, I had heard that this was like his third heart attack. He just happened to be in Vegas in a hotel room, and there was no one there to resuscitate him.
Vegas.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, it is.
Did you have any really crazy stories
Rick James
when you were high? I mean, outside of the mass transit incident and so forth?
Not really. I mean, I did it. I mean, you know, I had my share of doing coke. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but I don't have any crazy stories. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to, for example, my friend DJ Paul, from 3-6 Mafia. We were, he's done cocaine various times throughout his life, and the one thing he explained to me was like, when it comes to something like a cocaine, when you feel yourself starting to take too much, you could stop. But when you look at all the kids that are dying from pills these days, once you take a pill, it's over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You have no control over that at that point.
Right.
That's why you're seeing all these pill overdoses. When you look back on your career, what do you think you're the most proud of?
I got action figures.
Word?
And my Bootsy Collins video.
Okay.
That's what I did.
Is there anything in your career that you feel that you would change if you could?
No.
You stand behind everything.
Yep.
Stand tall.
Yep. Well, New Jack, a hell of a story, a hell of a life.
Heck of a story,
like I said, when I went and asked who I should interview next after doing Mark Henry, which was my first wrestler interview, everyone was asking for New Jack.
Right.
And when I read the story and when I saw the documentary and everything, it was like, okay, this is definitely right along the lines of Vlad TV here.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you sharing your story, man. And, it started off with a lot of hardship, but it seems like you took all that pain from your childhood and turned it into something.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you all the best, man. I hope to see you back in the ring at some point.
All right. Thank you, man.
No doubt. Until next time.
Take it easy.
Peace.
Do it off the chain, man. Larry Wills just got cut. Huh? 5 orders ago. Ew. We got some new wrestling world all over there. I gotta check that out. I don't know what this is, but my man say Ari Spears reacts to Diddy having. Hey, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Yo, I did not expect to read that. Oh no. Jim Cornette on the passing of New Jack. That might be something to react to, right? Y'all let me know if y'all want me to react to that. Which most likely y'all ain't gonna let me know. I don't get enough viewers to even get comments all that much. We got some old New Jack right there. Maybe opening another tab. How you do that, Jack, again? Full uncut. She is not vegan. A liar. Big what? Come on, man. Come on, y'all can do better than that. Watch that. What I watched that like last night? That was off the chain. Like always a good show. Salute to the NWWO. This is Mob James that explains why Suge can't say who took out Pac. Well, I think we know now. Who took out Pac. Allegedly. It's a New Jack Hardcore DVD bonus footage. I wonder what that's about. May the Lord rest his soul, man. New Jack passed, you know. But my man was like, I never seen nobody like. I don't think I ever seen anybody like that before, especially a wrestler. No regrets on anything. I wanted Jeff Hardy like that, right? I don't think Jeff Hardy be regretting anything either, even though his body is just damaged, like all up, man. I'm gonna read a few comments. Wait, hold on. I'll be back. Gotta check something again. Okay. In the comments, see what's happening with it. New Jack more gangster than a lot of gangster rap. yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying on that, man. But dude, do not play. When people owe me money, I use New Jack to break their knee. Ooh, that's freaked up. Vlad was scared he was gonna get stabbed if he pissed off New Jack with a. Don't do that. I think he had a nice try. Nice guy. I said nice try. I think he a nice guy. It's because I saw the word tried right there. I think he a nice guy. Until provoked. That's like most people. Most people are nice until they're provoked. And then some people are already mean. And then turn nice when they're provoked. Like, I don't want no trouble. At first they're being mean as freak. And then the person get mad at them. What? What'd you say? They're like, I don't want any trouble. I love you, man. I seen it several times on Raw Star. Back when I used to watch those videos. This one dude, he was talking mad trash. He was trying to hit a dude over the head with a garbage can. And the guy was bigger. He knocked the garbage can out of his hand. And then he punched him in it. He punched him across like the head. And he slipped and fell. And as the guy was coming up close and said, what? You want some more? Huh? He said, hey, I love you, man. I love you. I was like, my man really just went from being mean to nice. Yeah, he went from being mean to being nice within seconds. What hasn't Master P tried to do? I'm saying dude, I'm an ultimate hustler. And I think he saw Mystical in this guy. He was just like a wrestling version. New Jack couldn't have picked a better theme song than Natural Born Killers by Cube and Dre. Oh, that was his theme song? I don't know what that song is. Who sings it? Cube and Dre? I gotta see what that is. I want to bleep, sniffing bleep in a wheelchair. Aaron Carter. Huh? Aaron Carter. Aaron did what? Thanks for proving your masculinity to me. Somebody said funny. I don't know what to think about that stuff. Somebody said crazy that Kevin blocked Master P and had the nerve to ride his wave during the WCW days. Conan would use the bout it line. Big Papa Pump would use the holla if you hear me line. All these dudes were in Kevin's NWO factions. They even had C Murder sing the Wolfpack entrance theme. Ain't that some bleep? Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like they just had something against New Jack himself. Suppose he didn't block Master P. They're saying that he didn't want New Jack to come in with Master P because he was dangerous. That's what I said. They were just blocking New Jack. Master P definitely didn't. Master P definitely did some stuff with WCW. Master P, along with the rest of the normal humanity, had no idea who New Jack was, and nobody. He said nobody twice. Nobody ever wanted him in WCW, and nobody in WCW knew him. New Jack is a peon. Ooh, call him a peon. What's a peon? Heard that before. What the heck is that? Stop it. Don't do that. He was one of the biggest and popular names in ECW at his height, and he was big in Smoky Mountain with Jim Cornette as well. If he was a nobody, he would be in WWE 2K 2025 video game. Well, he's in there? I gotta look into that. I don't know, bro. You sure that's C Murder? Yes, it is C Murder on the Wolfpack theme song, I think he meant to say. No, it ain't no C Murder. The dude rapper sounds nothing like him. He sound like a Mexican rapper. Y'all crazy said C Murder did the Wolfpack thing. I gotta look into that if I remember to. Biters, man, the just take a bite and keep biting. F them. Damn, what's going on? Dude, that was a liability though. Dude was crazy as freak. LOL. Yeah, he was. That ain't C Murder on the Wolfpack theme. It's someone else. But the rest of this statement is factual. Man, why are people saying that's C Murder? Wasn't C Murder locked up already around that time? It depends on what year it was. I've listened to the Wolfpack theme hundreds of times, and that is not C. They need to stop saying that. Bleep. Hey, for real, right? We got more. Oh, I gotcha. I can only imagine you probably discussed it with Master P and convinced him that New Jack could be a liability. If C Murder did do the Wolfpack theme song, best song he ever did. So I was like, haha, dang. I gotta see what that song is. I don't know what it is. I mean, the guy's a liability in a Walker lawsuit. He kind of is, but normally when he gets in trouble, somehow he gets out. So, but at the same time, yeah, he is a liability because he don't give a damn. Look at his upbringing, man. His mom abused him. No. The dad beat up the mom, and the mom abused the children because of it. Is what I think. So his upbringing is already crazy. Take notes. This is what a real gangster sounds like. No bragging, no BS, just straight to the point with no regrets. This dude harder than all your favorite rappers. Come on, man. That's not stuff to be proud of right there. Jack is hard as nails. Yeah, he ain't. Yeah, he is. Yeah. He ain't hard. He just remind me of my uncle growing up. What, your uncle ain't hard? He did real prison time prior to wrestling for gangster ish. I think he is hard. You gotta be careful with a guy like that. That's why they were scared to sign this guy. And I salute to him for not signing on to, the mainstream wrestling promotion, or because like he said, that'll make you into a fool. Not everybody is okay with that, right? And people, they'll insult you just because you're not okay with that. And it just shows you how hateful those people are. They'll insult you because you don't want to be made into some type of caricature or some type of joke. Right? Like, there was people talking down on R-Truth because he did the whole, the promo when he said he's not a gimmick and that he's run killings. People were talking down. I know it's kind of hard to find those comments, but I saw some. They were talking down on it. That's like a court jester. Don't want to be a court jester no more. And people got the nerve to tell him, "Oh, you need to put your court jester hat back on." I'm like, all right, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised you get swung on. I ain't saying Truth will do that, but Vlad hasn't experienced too much trauma in his life. That's why he is fascinated with our. I don't know what he mean by our. I'm sure everybody witnessed some type of trauma. Some more than others. Someone said Glad. He called him Glad. Glad said he had a friend pass at 23 of a heart attack. New Jack said, yeah. Did he say that? I might have missed that. He says you have to acknowledge he's listening and understanding. I do the same thing. Yeah. What he's supposed to say? I mean, I guess he can say I'm sorry, but some people don't say that. So, you know, and the reason why some people don't say that, I mean, some people just don't give a damn, but some people, they don't say, oh, I'm sorry, because in their mind they're probably like, what, do I even mean this? Do I even mean that I'm sorry for real? I might as well don't say it. Somebody said, who even is Vlad? I came across the interview looking for New Jack. Somebody said, New Jack out here looking like a hood version of Agent 47. Gotta love him. Who Agent 47? This makes me think, has Vlad ever interviewed Master P? That's one interesting person, but all the things he had his hands over the years. Or had his hands in over the years. He's a living legend. Vlad, cocaine's a hell of a drug. New Jack, yeah, it is. It is. But at least you can measure it, right? At least you can measure it. It's like freaking protein powder, right? If you have the powder, you can measure it gram by gram. Or, you know, if you have one of those little food scales, people use the same thing, I think, for cocaine. You know, you go, you know. I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't know. I'm sure people use the same thing for cocaine to measure out whatever the heck the dosage they're going to take. To the point they know about heart and be like, yeah, that's probably like that amount. Yeah, that amount. But a pill, the amount is already set in place. You know? It's already set in place. So if it's 1,000 milligrams or something, and that's enough to completely stop your heart, and you don't know, may the Lord be with you after you take that thing. He was on hard meds. Recipes New Jack. In fact, when it comes to New Jack, let's see what happened to him. Oh my goodness! I could have freaking guessed that myself. He was already on a heart medication. Damn, man. Jerome. He got a European name, don't it? Jerome. Wrestler New Jack. No, real name Jerome Young. Passed of a heart attack May 14, 2021 at the... Oh, that was in 2021? I didn't know that. I don't know why I thought he passed in 2018. I don't know why I thought that. At the age of 58 in Greensboro, North Carolina, known for his hardcore style in ECW, he passed away from the heart attack. But they say the heart attack. Don't they mean a heart attack? They said the heart attack, like it's the world famous assassination of the body or of a bodily reaction. The body assassinates you. Well, no, I won't say assassinate you. Your body just give up on you. I mean, you know, when you do too much of this or too much of that, your body says, oh, the hell with this. And just, you know, I can't take this no more. You're supposed to hold your side of the weight. Ah! And that's what it does. Yeah. It's like you're moving furniture with somebody, right? Y'all moving something heavy as heck, like a freaking washing machine or something. Big old washing machine. You didn't even keep up your end. You holding it with one hand and you on the phone. And the person just said, "Oh, fake it. I'm doing most of the jump by myself. You just let it drop." Yeah. May the Lord have mercy on his soul. I'm gonna get up out of here. He said that was his friend right there, right? Mustafa, right? He said that was his friend. I think that was his friend. He asked was the guy crazy. He said, nah, the guy wasn't crazy. Pretty big dude. 6'4". Yeah, he's 62 years old now. I think that's the guy, Mustafa. I don't think he ever signed to WWE either, did he? I don't think he did. May the Lord have mercy on that fat kid too, or that fat man that passed. Who, you know, the one he cut, and his head start leaking like a freaking popped water balloon. That's just gory. Goodness. How can you be so cold? So cold. I'll be back after several messages. You know, when I think about my man New Jack, I think about that song. It's been a long time coming. Tables turn around. One of us is going. One of us is going down. You ever heard that song? Look at the name of the band. I think the name of the band is called Sick Puppies or something, or Drowning Puppies. Like, this is like a bad name. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, so one of us is going down, man. Oh man, shoot. It seemed like he forgave Kevin for the for the crap that Kevin was saying. Whatever he was saying, I don't know what he was saying. Most likely he was putting in a word to say, "Hey man, see the dude right there. Look at the tapes. Look at the tapes. Look at all the blood. You really want him to work for us? That guy there." Either way, forgiveness is good. I leave y'all with a verse or 2 or 3. Let it be. Bringing that holy heat. Possibly from me. Capital M to the E. Baby, please. Alright, sorry. But anyways, we got Ephesians 4:32. ESV. And it reads, be kind to one another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, as God in Christ forgave you. You know how it go, man. Forgiveness is good. You know what I'm saying? Like I said on my other video that I did about when I was reacting to the Bret Hart interview, people were saying that he don't forgive nobody. So hopefully he do. But I can understand why he would be pissed at that company. Because even New Jack brought it up. Like, they continued the show right after Owen fell from that high place. Oh, my goodness. That was just cold. That was just cold. And then they also mentioned that PCP, that booger sugar, you know, that dust. I don't know how many people call it dust these days. We used to call them all dust. Angel dust. We shouldn't even call it angel dust. We might as well call them all devil dust. Like Nino Brown said in New Jack City. He called them all devil dust. But look. Shoot. We got 1 Peter 5:8 ESV version. It's just the version that popped up. It don't matter. It says, be sober-minded. Be watchful. Your adversary. Adversary means enemy. The devil prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. You know? Like Chris Brown said in that song, waiting for me to mess up. You know I can't sing. That's what he do. He wait for you to mess up. How do you mess up? You can mess up in so many different ways, man. As long as it's sin, you done messed up. But it ain't too late for you as long as you draw breath in your lungs, right? It ain't too late to get right. You know? Somebody mentioned Aaron Carter. I wonder if they're talking about that guy that's related to the Backstreet Boy. I think he passed away too, some years back. I don't know how many years back, but he passed away too. Hopefully he was sober-minded. See, it said the devil. Notice it say the devil. It don't say a devil. It say the devil. King of the devils. King of hell. Look at that. Look at it closely in case you ain't wearing your glasses and you still wanted to watch anyways. That's if you didn't click off the video because it got too freaking real, because it was too much holy heat and it made you sweat spiritually. Okay? We have one more. That was a heck of an interview. I am sorry about his childhood, man. Dang. His daddy wasn't playing. But yo, both his mom and dad, they could have handled that better, man. They created the man that we saw in that interview. They created that man. Alright? Through reproduction and through behavior. You know, and I know people may say, well, no, that's on him, man. He's an adult. Right. It is on him as an adult. But You gotta always start in that childhood, man. You gotta always start in the childhood. You know? People always talking about how bad somebody is currently, but they never look back to the childhood. I don't know why they do that. Me, I always think about, yo, what was the childhood about? What happened in the childhood or her childhood? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But of course, people gonna skip past the childhood part. You know how 6ix9ine said they just skip right past that because it's facts. They just skip right past that. You know what I'm saying? You see that beat? I stole that. I stole that jump. I stole that. Ah! Hey, that's like the 2020 version of take that. I stole that jump. I stole that. Give me that. He talking about that's what I do, man. Give me that. Hey, but I ain't trying to laugh at that because, you know, stealing is bad. Isn't that one of the 10 commandments? Thou shalt not steal. My man said I stole that. He tripping, man. You know you shouldn't be doing that. You should purchase it. Do it the right way. 6ix9ine. Doing the right way. I heard he locked up right now. We got John 3:36 right here. This is the final verse I leave y'all with. You know, one of the most important. It says, John 3:36, which is chapter 3, verse 36, NIV, and it reads, whoever believes in the Son has eternal life, but whoever rejects the Son will not see life. For God's wrath remains on them. Either you can believe that or you don't have to. Like the twins used to say, do whatever you want to do. The choice is yours, dog. Junk ain't hard. Heck. I mean, it's kind of hard, but it's kind of not hard at the same time. You know how it go. Yeah. You know? It depends on how hard you want to go. You know, you could drive that BMW, have fun, slip some lines here and there, be on church on Sunday, you know? Or you could walk around with a whole tunic on, a holy tunic, tassels, all that. How hard you want to go, it's up to you, man. It don't matter to me. You know, not to sound cold like it is today, but it don't matter to me. It matters mostly to the King himself. The King who is the Son, right? Who is the Son. He the one you got to answer to, not me. So don't worry about what I say. Worry about what the King say. But, yeah, y'all have a nice day. I'm about to get up out of here. Give me a plate of whatever. Man, that was a heck of an interview right there. That man off the chain. That man off the chain. Let me see this comment right here, this last comment. Do you regret anything you did in the ring? No. Okay, good talk. I like his direct answers, man. I watched the Epstein interview the other day. He had no direct answers. It's like a freaking, what do you call it? Do they call it composite? But something's the complete opposite? No. That means the same. No, congruent means something is the same. What is composite? Well, I meant to say that they were just total opposites of each other, man. The interviews is like total opposites. I'm about to get up out of here, man. This is joint almost an hour. Praise be to the Most High. Shalom and blessings to you all. Amen.